Good evening. I don't know if you were made aware, but I saw this on the news today, and it hit me kind of hard. There was a shooting at a college this morning. There was one victim, and then there was a suicide. And it's in times like these that we are struck with the evil that's in the world. It hit me pretty hard because I know somebody who lives just like right there in Dallas. Right next to that campus. And so I was worried about them as soon as I heard. But when we're struck with tragedy, the tragedy that happens in our lives and in the world, a lot of times the response is to think, God, where are you? Why don't you care about this? Why don't you care that people's lives are being needlessly taken? Why don't you care about all the hate that we encounter in the world and in other people? Why don't you care? Psalm 11 is what jumped to my mind in the midst of this situation. I'd like to share with you. It says, to the choir master, Psalm of David. In the Lord I take refuge. How can you say to my soul, flee like a bird to your mountain? For behold, the wicked bend the bow. They have fitted their arrow to the string, to shoot in the dark at the upright heart. If the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? And see, that's that feeling that we get. If everything that we trust in is eroded, if the things that we thought were secure are not really secure, where can we turn? It says the wicked they've bended their bow. It's pulled back. The arrow's ready to fly. And verse 4 is the response. So the foundations have been eroded. You don't know what to trust in anymore. And verse 4, it picks up, the Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes see, his eyelids test the children of man. The Lord tests the righteous. But his soul hates the wicked and the one who loves violence. Let him rain coals on the wicked. Fire and sulfur and a scorching wind shall be a portion of their cup. For the Lord is righteous. He loves righteous deeds, and the upright shall behold his face. It reminds me of what John does in Revelation. He borrows from Isaiah this prophetic image of God seated on his throne in heaven, in the midst of the persecution that the church is going through and the struggles that they're facing. He says, I know that my life looks like it's out of control and I can't trust in anything anymore, but God is still on his throne. And that's what this psalm does. He says, my security is gone, but the Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. And so, despite what our eyes see sometimes, and we feel like, God, how can you just let this go on? We feel like he might be ambivalent to all this hate and brokenness. And I can tell you, he's not. He cares about it so much. He cares about this brokenness so much that he himself entered into it. He took on flesh and dwelled among us. He cared about it so much that even taking this broken flesh, he had his flesh broken and died. He cares so much about this brokenness that he has conquered the most broken thing about mankind, and that is death. And so tonight, maybe you're feeling like this. You're looking at all the hate in the world and the hurt in the world, and you say, God, where are you? Well, I can tell you he's close by, and he's still on his throne. He's still in control. Maybe you haven't given your life over to that control yet tonight. Maybe you need to put him on in baptism. This is the time. Maybe you did that a long time ago, but the nature of this world has pulled you off course and made you forget who is really in charge. This is the time to rectify that. It says, the upright shall behold his face. If tonight you need to make something right, this is the time. Would you please come as we stand and as we sing?